Jagadguru Sri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamigalu. A very good evening to the invited guests, speakers, fellow colleagues, students, ladies and gentlemen. I, Dr. Chantala, on behalf of the organizing committee, take this as an immense pride to welcome each and everyone to today's session of the webinar, Professional Planning, the Way Forward. Sometimes we can't see yourself clearly until you see yourself through the eyes of others. It is great to see all of us gather to focus on learning and taking our profession forward with the guidance from successful people as professionals, from none other than the speakers at today's forum. With this note, let's begin today's program by invoking the blessings of Goddess Saraswati.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Vidyarambham karishyami Siddhir bhavatu me sada Siddhir bhavatu me sada Siddhir bhavatu me
Dr. Sumukh. May I now request our very own student, Dr. Sumukh Bharadwaj, the organizing secretary, to welcome the gathering, please.
Good evening to one and all present here. Greetings from JSS Dental College and Hospital, Mysuru. Pradakshina Puradesham Veera Simhasanadipam Shri Veera Sheva Vidhavam Shivratri Shivaram Bhaji. With the blessings of His Holiness Jagadguru Rajaguru Tilaka Parama Pujya Dr. Shri Shivratri Rajendra Mahaswamigalu, and offering my humble pranams to the lotus feet of His Holiness Jagadguru Shri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamigalu, I, Dr. R. Sumukh Bharadwaj, the organizing secretary, on behalf of Profession Planning Team, take an immense pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2 days webinar series. Albert Einstein once said, education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. We all strongly believe that dentistry would continue to be an important focus area in the healthcare of mankind. Opportunities abound for passionate learners and provides an excellent career opportunity for aspiring dentists. We believe in onward thinking, and in order to drive home the scope and opportunity in master degree in dentistry, we are aiming to prepare fresh graduates with concepts and clinical skills. This webinar is envisaged to motivate and provide insights about each MD's specialty around learning and research. In order to accomplish these, we need a strong leadership support. I'm very happy to state that we have a very strong supporting leadership in our respected Co-Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Suresh Bhojraj, respected Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. Surinder Singh, Registrar, Dr. B. Vanjanatha, and Director Academics, Dr. Kushalapa, PA. And our very own beloved principal, Dr. Ravindra S. Now, I take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest for today, Dr. Surinder Singh, sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research. I have also welcomed the eminent resource faculty and the panelists to share their thoughts. Now we'll play a short video.
I am Dr. Nandalal, Professor and Head of the Pediatric Dentistry at JSS Dental College, a constituent college of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research. At JSS Academy of Higher Education, the Dental College also has a thrust besides academics, besides clinical dentistry, also a research. And this is possible because of the large advanced laboratories and Center of Excellence in the field of medical sciences available in the same campus, both medical, dental and pharmacy and related allied sciences, which offers us a platform to carry out research in a big way, not only the basic research but also the advanced research. We also have a nice platform to have a clinical research in the special research groups which are focused on dental cardiology, dental materials as well as orofacial pain. This all is being supported by the funds from internal by the institution as well as from the JSSHER grants, as well as guidance from the Research Council and ethical boards to go forward with submission of the projects to industrial partners as well, and also from the government support.
I'm Dr. Karthikeya Patil, Professor and Head of the Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology, JSS Dental College and Hospital. Publications are an asset to the researcher, academician and organization. They are critical for the scientific evaluation, as one research will builds up on the previous one. There is no point in conducting research and not publishing it.
I'm Dr. Anil Kumar from the Department of Prosthodontics. Dentistry is one field where you become a doctor. In addition to that, you also become an engineer and an artist. So in that way, it is a very good subject to pursue.
Dentistry is a promising healthcare profession wherein there is a lot of scope for good work and research purpose. As a teacher, an oral and maxillofacial surgeon, and a private practitioner for the last 24 years, the journey has been enticing, enriching, and rewarding in all aspects of life. Dentistry is a giving profession wherein you get the pleasure of treating and serving the people, and through hard work achieve personal milestones. And more importantly, there is a fine balance of work and personal life.
I'm Dr. Katyayani, working in the Department of Prosthodontics. In my 30 years of experience, interacting with my students and helping them learn their skills in dentistry has given me immense pleasure. This teaching and learning has made me feel passionate about my job.
Educators have a profound impact on students' life. Teaching isn't just a job, it's a passion, commitment, and desire to amplify students' dream and vision. As an educator, I have a responsibility in ensuring our budding dentists model professional and ethical behavior. I'm a teacher, an educator, and orthodontist.
I'm Dr. Paras, an endodontist and a diplomat of Indian Board of Endodontics. To further enrich and upskill fresh dental graduates, the Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics provides certificate course in rotary endodontics aim to build confidence and help them in their future dental practice. It is said, every tooth in a man's mouth is more valuable than a diamond. As a root canal specialist, I love to save natural teeth.
I am Dr. Jaishankar, working in the Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology in JSS Dental College. Being a oral medicine and radiologist helped me to become a good clinician. Not only a good clinician, also a good academician. This gives me a lot of support and confidence in treating the cases for a timely diagnosis and also accuracy in diagnosis. Even a non-clinical subject can also make you a good clinician if you have got a very good knowledge in learning it.
I'm Dr. Seema Deshmukh from Department of Pediatric and Preventive Dentistry. It's a proud privilege for me to be associated with JSS Dental College and Hospital, as it has given me the opportunity to be the first lady faculty for being awarded the Young Scientist Research Grant from Vision Group of Science and Technology for the research on craniofacial growth and development. I had been fortunate enough to be associated with a national grant from Indian Council of Medical Research, which culminated in establishment of Assisted Breastfeeding Center, a center of its kind in India providing care for cleft lip and palate affected infants. JSS Dental College and Hospital has always motivated us to translate our research into patents, thereby giving me an opportunity to be the first lady faculty having 2 research patents. It has also given me a platform to provide service to the needy.
I'm Dr. Vinita Manjunath, currently working as a reader in the Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics, JSS Dental College and Hospital. The outcomes that we have achieved has proven to be highly gratifying and satisfying, Having said this, my passion for aesthetic dentistry has driven me to start up a certificate program in comprehensive aesthetic dentistry for budding interns of our college. I am so very happy to be a certificate course provider.
I am Dr. Prasanna Deshpande. I pursued my master's in oral medicine and radiology, and we are globally now called as oral diagnosticians and oral and maxillofacial radiologists. The recent advancements in oral medicine could be oral cancer or three-dimensional imaging of head and neck, or it may be a specific application of CBCT, or its extended use in 3D printing has always fascinated me. This passion also helped me to pursue an international diploma degree in laser dentistry from an Italian university. All these helped me to achieve a painless treatment protocol which we dentists have always dreamt of.
I'm Dr. Meenakshi, prosthodontist. Dentistry has given me ample opportunities to nurture academic growth, intercollaborative research, and professional excellency. My consistent effort and keen interest in dental research targeting natural polymers and dental biomaterials have attracted external funding from ICMR and DBT. To my credit, I also have a patent published for my innovation of polyherbal gel to combat denture stomatitis for geriatric denture wearers. I am also focusing my research on how important posture is to enhance the clinical skills, at the same time to design the dental workplace as early as preclinical teaching. I am proud to be a pioneer for initiating Dental Ergonomics Certificate Program for undergraduate and postgraduate students at JSS Dental College and Hospital. Dentistry has been evolving in day-to-day practice. In a nutshell, this profession has helped me to align, access, and accelerate.
I am Dr. Ravindra, Principal of JSS Dental College. Being a principal and administrator of the dental college comes with a lot of responsibilities and challenges, be it in academic development, managing administrative functions, developing strategic initiatives, faculty development, etc. The list goes on, it is endless. I take all these things as a enjoyable task and as a life learning lessons.
I'm Dr. Usha Hegde, Professor and Head, Department of Oral Pathology and Microbiology, JSS Dental College. Being healthy and fit is not only about personal wellness. If you want to be a good dentist, keep yourself fit. I'm a fitness expert and enthusiast, and I'm proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
So very proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
I'm very proud to be a dentist. Proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
I'm proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
Proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
I am proud to be a dentist.
Yes, we're all proud to be a dentist. Now, I request Dr. Chanchala HP to take over. Thank you, ma'am.
Indeed, a very insightful video, I must say, Dr. Sumuk. Thank you so much. We have with us today Dr. Surinder Singh, Vice Chancellor, JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, presiding as the chief guest for today's program. We welcome you, sir. Sir completed his graduation in the year 1985 and master's in microbiology in the year 1988. Did his senior residency in microbiology from the elite All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi between 1988 to 91. He took over the charge of Drug Controller General of India in February 2008 and continued to work in the same position till 2nd November 2011. Sir was the Director of National Institute of Biologicals, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, which is the national control laboratory for testing of all biologicals, including vaccines and biopharmaceuticals. Sir was appointed in October 2012 by the state government of Punjab as the chairman of the experts committee constituted to develop an institutional development plan for strengthening of drugs regulation and drugs testing laboratory in the state of Punjab during the 12th five-year plan. With this brief CV, it's indeed our honor to have you with us, sir. May I request you to kindly share and address the gathering?
Thank you, Dr. Chanchla. Good evening to all of you. At the outset, seeking the blessings of His Holiness Jagadguru Shri Shivratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, the Honorable Chancellor of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research. I also extend my very warm greetings to our Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. B. Suresh, and convey his best wishes for the success of this 2 days webinar. I also extend a warm greetings to Dr. B. Manjunath, Registrar of JSS Academy of Education Research, Dr. Kushalapa, Director Academics, and our very own Dr. S. Ravindra, Principal of JSS Dental College and Hospital and Dean of Dentistry, all the faculty, staff, and my dear students. I am very pleased and happy that Dental College and Hospital has organized this webinar on professional planning and the way forward, and with a very apt theme. I think this is something which is very innovative, it is well timed, and this is what is required at the moment. So I congratulate the entire team and all the thought which has gone behind organizing this 2 days webinar. It has come at the right time to allay the apprehensions of many of the students who would have lingering doubts about the way forward. Dental sciences is an important area in medical field, and it has gained a tremendous recognition. Dentists are often the first healthcare professionals to recognize and identify a variety of diseases ranging from hypertension to oral cancer. And dentistry provides several opportunities in private practice, teaching, research, public health, and administration. So once the students have completed their course, there are several opportunities available and open for them, which might be both demanding and remunerative. Though the students might be at the crossroad to decide what to opt for and which way to go, I think this webinar would be very, very informative for them. And I think they will have a lot of information to take back home, because I expect a lot of knowledge sharing is going to happen during this webinar, which is very well structured. After the graduation, the students, they become a qualified as a practitioner, but there is a need to upgrade their skills constantly. And that is why there may be a need for them to go for an MDS degree, which becomes almost essential and very important if they really want to enhance their skills. And what I could discuss and could gather about this webinar, that it is very meticulously planned. And to attain this purpose, I'm very sure that the participants, especially the students, will be given very clear directions, detailed information, and scope about each dental specialty. And I could get the flavor of the webinar right in the beginning by seeing this very informative video itself. Because sometimes what happens is seeing basically delivers much more stronger message than the text. And what I actually saw, I think even as a bystander, I would say, I find it very informative. And I think once you have this webinar going, it will be very, very informative for the students. And I congratulate the team which actually devised this video. It's very thoughtful, and I think it was very well structured. Congratulations to all of you. With these words, I convey my best wishes for the success of this webinar and request all the participants, especially the students, that they should make best possible use of the information which will be shared with them. And I hope this webinar, as we always have been always emphasizing, be interactive. The students, they can post their queries, they can have their doubts addressed in this webinar, so that when this webinar ends after 2 days, they are not only well informed, all their apprehensions and all their doubts, they have been allayed, and this webinar really serves its purpose for which we are venturing out in it today. So with these words, I thank each one of you, Dr. Ravindra, Dr. Chanchla, and the entire team, and for their efforts which has gone into this webinar. I wish once again all the success, and thank you all of you for inviting me to be a part of this webinar. My best wishes. Thank you.
So your thoughts on today's program has really resonated each one of us. Thank you so much for your address to us. Thank you once again. We welcome Dr. Kushalapa PA. to this webinar, but however, due to some inevitable reasons, sir has not been able to make it to today's session, but definitely has conveyed his wishes to the team. Thank you very much, sir. I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Ravindra S., organizing chairman for today's webinar to address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Chancellor. Good evening, everyone. Seeking the blessings of His Holiness Sri Jagadguru Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, respected Dr. Surendra Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, beloved Dr. Kushalappa, Director Academics of JSS&H, invitees, faculties, and all the young budding dentists. At the outset, I extend my gratitude on behalf of JSS Dental College to our respected speakers for their words and guidance to our students. I believe many of them would continue with their higher education and shine as a dental educator, researchers, and a clinician in the near future. The mark of higher education is not the knowledge you accumulate, but it's the skill you gain about how to learn. In today's competitive world, one should look for all-around development. The Masters of Dentistry offered by JSS Dental College under JSS-AHR is designed to prepare a dentist with a knowledge that will complement their areas of clinical expertise and inculcate skills in designing and conducting a research, teaching, administration of clinical and educational programs, and advanced multidisciplinary clinical care. One can find several dental colleges in and abroad, but selecting the best educational institution to pursue a dental science courses is much more important. Now, our institution has progressed substantially in infrastructure and system of educating students in the last few decades. We can witness a paradigm shift in terms of the quality education that has fetched us the recognition of being one amongst the top ranking institutions in the country. With these few words, I wish all the success to our young aspirants and hope they take up a higher education and emerge as a good dental professionals. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words and constant support. Having heard from the dignitaries of today's program, we should understand that opportunities don't happen, you create them and you start dreaming. So then all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. This is exactly why we are here today and tomorrow to hear from some of the leading voices in the field of healthcare about what it takes to be an exceptional professional. Before we hear from these voices, let's call Dr. Dipasha Rao, Joint Secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Chanchala. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. I quote William Arthur. Good evening to one and all present. My name is Dipasha Kirti Rao, and I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks. As we begin such a lively gathering, before we start, a few words of warmth and gratitude towards the people who have helped turn our vision into action. Let me start by giving glory to Almighty God for making our professional webinar a resounding success. I would foremost like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Surendra Singh, who despite his busy schedule, found time to grace us with his presence. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dipasha.
I thank our well-wisher, Dr. Kushalappa, and our principal, Dr. Ravindra, for their unstinted support and encouragement. They have always pushed us to put our best foot forward. We are grateful to all our speakers and panel members for enthusiastically accepting our invitation and responding to us with such zeal. It was their immense support and effort towards our program that motivated us to work harder. This webinar would never have been possible without their active contribution and participation. We thank them wholeheartedly. We would also like to extend a token of gratitude to Karnataka State Dental Council for acknowledging our webinar and crediting us with the desired KSDC points. A special expression of gratitude to Dr. Bhagyalakshmi and Dr. Ashwini for being the backbone of the show by continuously guiding and helping us in every step. It is their stewardship, vision, and commitment that helped this webinar become a success today. We owe this to you, madam. Everyone watches the glory moments, but they don't see what happens behind the scene. The immense hard work, dedication, and effort put in by each and every member of the professional excellence team cannot go unnoticed. They have worked relentlessly day in and day out behind the scenes. No amount of gratitude can match up to the commitment and energy offered by them. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the team of Professional Excellence for giving me the opportunity to play the role of Joint Organizing Secretary and allowing me to be a part of such an educational and resourceful program. On behalf of the organizing committee and the various mentors present today, I thank everyone for attending. I'm sure we all have a lot to learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dipasha. Once again, on behalf of the organizing committee, we sincerely thank the dignitaries for being with us and encouraging us through this journey. I express my heartfelt gratitude to each and everyone for their wholehearted support rendered in the success of this webinar series. Thank you once again.
Thank you and the best wishes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
With this, we end the inaugural function for today and dive straight into the agenda for the day. We have the first speaker for this session, Dr. Prashant S. Dr. Prashant S. has completed his master's degree in pediatric and preventive dentistry, MSc from Karnataka Open University in the field of psychology, PhD from JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, member of the International Association of Pediatric Dentistry, ISPPD and IDA, presently serving as a professor, Department of Pedodontics and Preventive Dentistry, as well as Deputy Director Academics of JSS&H. With an array of presentations at various national and international conferences, he has won over 8 Best Scientific Presentation Awards. He has been conferred with a grant of $1,000 from the Dentsply International for his presentation on novel technique of indirect composite restoration. Has 6 chapter contributions in pediatric dentistry textbooks. Well, this was just a glimpse of Dr. Prashant and his achievements. Excited to hear from you the success mantras. The platform is all yours, Dr. Prashant. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Chachala. And before we start off, first I would like to thank the organizing team for this very good webinar series. And it's a series because it runs 2 days, and I see a lot of eminent personalities who are going to be on this board. So with these sentences spoken and all of you being silent, I assume that I am being heard and seen clearly.
Yes, sir, you
would
are.
love a feedback on that. Yeah, thank you so much. Now let us dive into the presentation on, well, what you have asked me to do is on success mantra. Well, this is a very, very difficult topic for me, and equally difficult it will be for you if you don't pin my video and if you don't mute your microphones, the panelists, because if we put it in a gallery mode, I will be seen in one of the boxes. People will see me as one of the boxes. So people who are beaming this onto the social media platform, do make sure that the speaker view of the software is selected. That's what is going as a feed. And this is a direct camera feed. That is why I would request these little bit of settings that are happening on board. So then, having said this, I also would like to start this session with profound gratitude. Gratitude to His Holiness Swamiji for giving us all opportunities in life. Gratitude to the leadership of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, our Pro-Chancellor Sir, Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Sir, as well as Director of Academics, Dr. P. A. Kushalapa Sir, who have trust on us. And on this trust, we are going a long way. In fact, with passion, very fast, stead hard. And also, I thank the leadership of JSS Dental College and Hospital and JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research, because such webinar series can only come by good vision. A good vision of sharing success stories, a good vision of making sure our students, our colleagues, and everyone in the organization tread the path of success. So thank you all for this. And here we begin the presentation of success mantra. Well, as soon as I got this particular topic from the team of professional excellence, I went into two dictionaries. One, the Webster's dictionary, and the other, the Cambridge dictionary. And I tried to see what is the actual definition of success. There is where we started. And the definition of success says that it is the degree or measure of succeeding. And it is a favorable or desired outcome that we would have got. Well, if the Webster's tells the definition of success like this, what does Cambridge Dictionary tell about success? It says that the achieving of results, here as mentioned here, the achieving of results which are wanted or hoped for is what is called success. Now, believe me, if this was exactly the definition of success, then literally it would mean success is equal to fulfillment of the plan or our intention or expected outcome. Okay, if success is nothing but fulfillment of our plan, intention, or expected outcome, after meeting that success, then what? Is just the result of our activity, just the result of our plan, just the result or intention or where we intend to go govern success in our life? Somehow I did not feel this particular definition is apt enough. And I tried to recollect all the success stories where what all I have come across, where all we have tried to have success examples in our life. And I found that success is largely a factor which depends on time. Success largely started changing with time. Success was time dependent. When I was a kid, what I would deem as success was just a toy or any other sweet which would have my palate feels happy as success stories. After that came the 7th board examination, and people started telling, if you clear the 7th standard board examinations very well, that becomes the basis of your success story. Then came the 10th board of examinations. People started telling that if you do well in your 10th board, you are going to be successful in your life. After that came the pre-university. That was the large chunk, and that made a huge impact, because people started telling that if you do your pre-university well, your direction of your life is going to be established and you are going to tread the path of success. After that, after entering into the profession, clearing the first year, second year, third year, final year, and then the MDS entrance examinations. Now here, most of us are standing at this particular culminating point, where we are going to talk about MDS examinations, NEET examinations for getting MDS in various specialties, and how do we go further from where we are standing today. As the story came from the childhood, 7th, 10th, pre-university until here, definitely it is going to go from here the same way further. So this made me realize that with the passage of time, this started determining what my success is. So now the 1852 definition of success from Webster's dictionary started looking a little absurd for me. And I have to speak about success with faculty on board and with students who have completed their BDS on board and people who are looking into various aspects of life on board this webinar. Tell me, will one definition of success hold good for all of us? And the answer is definitely not. So, having said that, how are we going to go further? And the way to go further is this. I saw that in the beginning of the session, there were various faculty from JSS Dental College and Hospital from various specialties of dentistry, after having completed their MDS degrees, coming and telling about their success stories. And did you observe one single thing common to all of them? We did not tell them what to do. We told them, how successful, proud are you to be a dentist, and what are your achievements? one common thing which you will find is none of them told that I am proud just to be a pediatric dentist or a periodontist or a conservative dentist or a public health personnel or a person who is a surgeon. No, none of them stopped at being proud of being a specialist. All of them told that they were proud to have some other achievements beyond that. So if we have to talk about success in this platform, should we stop at having a seat in a specialty of MDS, or should we go beyond that to be really successful in life? Was a question that I got into myself. And the answer, we both will find out with each other. Yes, these are only few of the faces in the treasury of JSS Dental College and Hospital who have made the first consignment. I tell this as a first consignment only because there are many, many people in JSS Dental College and Hospital who have got similar success stories, who have got similar talents as those who have appeared in the video of this particular session. And it is only the first consignment. This program and in the programs to come, you are going to see many more talents emerging. One of the talents would be our new vice principal, Dr. Chandrasekhar, who has done an exceptional job in FAMER, also has a good credentials with the national and international bodies, and he's doing well with administration. And thanks to his good administration, along with the principal's administration, in conjunction today, a success webinar is being organized with people on board. And in programs to come, we will see many, many people like this from the JSS Dental College and Hospital on board. And if we see those successes and then come over to this platform, and I have to talk to you about what is the mantra for success. First, we have to understand what is your definition of success. Unless and until you have a definition of success, see, all of them who spoke in the beginning of this program, all of them had their own definitions of success. Some of them had research, some of them had fitness, some of them had a self-service service motivation to the needy people, and some of them had education as success motivation. So coming back to this, if we have to talk about bringing success to you, first we have to start at that particular point of what success means to you. What is your definition of success? And worldwide today, everywhere, in every country, the definition of success is changing. Why? Because everywhere around, survival has become the first and most important motive. If people survive this pandemic, they are remaining healthy, not debilitated. That is the first success story. And the second, resiliency has taken over. After the health, it is about going ahead with our daily chores in spite of these restrictions of the pandemic with technology or any other means. So when the whole world is changing, my dear friends, is your definition of success going to be a constant? Should it be a constant? If not, then I have got a question for you. So I will just ask you a question. Now, I would want to put that question in the chat box, and this chat box is going to send this link to this question to all the panelists and attendees. Now, the question is very simple. And this question is, let me read out the question for you. And the question is, aspects of the success that you seek. Now, let me share this success story of what you are responding live. And I see that many people, good, you people are responding very fast, and I'm very happy for that. And I can see, so as you are seeing that success means, oh, good, success in life endeavor. So most of you want success in life endeavor. You can see here in this particular image that the red component, that is around 86.7% of you would want to know what is the success in every endeavor of life. That's very interesting. And you know, after having given you these three particular options, I had decided that whichever option you choose, that particular presentation I will do. So since most of you have chosen what is the success mantra for success in every endeavor of life, every aspect of life, that is the first step what you have taken, and I congratulate you that you have taken the right step. You know why? Because if you think about only success which just gets completed in over few days, few weeks, few months, after that what? And if you consider that success for a lifelong endeavor needs to be understood, the foundations of that success needs to be built, and the secrets of this success needs to be understood, every step becomes just another milestone for you, isn't it? Every step becomes just another milestone, including you getting a particular seat in MDS for your specialty, which you have passion for. That's a very good decision. Congratulations for most of you for starting on a successful note, the right direction. Now, after having said this, I have got another question for you. See, I have got in this background a particular insect. Have a close look at this particular insect and answer to me what you feel is this particular insect. And how will you answer to that? Yes, life is very simple here with Zoom. I'm going to put in the link here, and I would want you to go into that link. I will show you your responses live. Let us see your responses live.
It's been living this murky lifestyle for years. But it's time to move on. The only way to do that is by completely changing identity. In the dead of night, he leaves the only home he's ever known. The time to transform has arrived. The hard outer skin splits open, and a brand new thorax emerges. Wings. It's a passport to a new life. The legs harden in 30 minutes, and the nymph reveals its newfound identity. The dragonfly.
Well, we all saw that this was a metamorphosis. Why have I selected this particular species to show it to you people? Because I feel if we have to become successful in life, we will require and we will need to learn lessons from this particular species. First one is that though it has spent a lot of time underwater in a different environment with different ecosystem, it determines to change. So first thing is you have the guts in you to change. It's very, very difficult to accept change. Not only here, it's a human psychology everywhere in the world, that if there is change which is coming over, which is anticipated, definitely there is going to be a lot of anxiety which is involved in particular acceptance of a change. So if you have made up your mind to change for betterment with good planning, then that's the first step to success which we learn from this particular species. The second thing is, this is one of the most important aspects of this dragonfly story. And that is that once it changes, it leaves its ecosystem and goes and start experimenting in a new ecosystem. Even if it wants to come back, those of its own kind inside that particular environment in which it was living before, they will not identify it. It would have changed to so much great extent that even when it comes back, those which it left and went will not be able to identify that it is dragonfly. And if it tries to convince or change them, they will not change when they don't believe. And if it wants to change itself, it will not fit into the same ecosystem. So some changes are unidirectional. So success stories should be planned in a meticulous way such that these unidirectional changes which happens are attended to with minuteness. And then we move on. So I think most of you now are able to see this dragonfly along with me. Fine?
Yes.
I don't think so you see me, but you will be able to see the dragonfly. So this is all about change, and once you emerge as a changed species, you have got a lot of powers, lot of appendages which you can use for flying, which was previously not your capability. That's one of the things in change, and that's one of the things in success, where you will have to aim at the setting which is going to be a change factor for you, which is going to make you have greater responsibilities, give you greater powers, and also make you responsible for greater things. And with all those things, when we move further, we have got, again, as I told you, some powers which we will have to use for benefit of others. And why have I taken this particular example as a mode of delivery of my material is because even before man came on this earth, this dragonfly was existing. They say that there was an apocalypse that happened, and all the animals, including those dinosaurs which reigned over in that area, they just vanished away. But we see the fossil that is 200 million years older than the era of dinosaurs, and we see that dragonflies did exist even before them, and they did not get extinct. So one of the success lessons what we learn from dragonfly is that in spite of we having that change, in spite of we having that metamorphosis, despite all these challenges in the history of earth, the species survived, and that we have to learn. That is the same thing in dentistry as well. Success stories in dentistry can be attributed to those which have found in these dragonflies, and the stepping stones to success, whether be it MDS examination, selection of a particular subject in your MDS specialty, or a particular aspect of life, the first thing would be perseverance. Yes, perseverance. Nothing comes to you as soon as you try to do it, or as soon as you attempt to do it. Everything takes time. Sometimes failures becomes the stepping stone to success. But we will not know what the future is, and as soon as we meet that particular failure, we will give up. We should not do that. The first lesson is we should not give up the failures, and we should, in spite of the failures, make them as stepping stones, and we should have perseverance. If we have perseverance, we can try again and again and again and try to become perfect in that, and only then, not everything comes the first time. The next one is agility. If we have a problem and we fail in that problem once, using the same technique what we had used in the first instance will not take us anywhere. We have to be agile enough to adopt and adapt. We have to adopt certain things which are going to make us have agility towards handling a particular problem, may it be MCQs or may it be your exam sheets. If you have this particular agility, you will know how to tackle each one of them in a very effective and efficient way. And what this agility means is that in life also, every problem will have a solution. Failure is only just that we have not found the right solution. And having perseverance and trying it out in the same way will not help us in anything. Having perseverance and trying it out in an alternative way is what is more required. And alternative way requires agility to attend to it. The third thing is steadfast and focused efforts. Our pro-chancellor sir always tells me this thing, because I'll be attending to many stuff throughout the day. He'll be telling you should have focused efforts. You should put all your efforts into one particular field. And then once you are more steadfast and more focused, you are going to achieve your results more faster. That's what he says. And I believe what he says is correct. Not having listened to him, having taken into too many profiles, what I had to do is, without this focus, I will have to do batch processing of these work, what I'm doing. And because of this batch processing, I will have to take up focused efforts and extended time. So I'll be working more than what usually I am required or expected to work. But if you have steadfast and focused effort, you will be able to understand your particular subject in a very, very easier, faster way. And this focus translates to concentration when it comes to studying for you people. Next is smart working. Well, you have learned the knowledge and lessons for many, many years. For 4 or 5 years, you have learned your lessons. And all these comes down to 1 hour or 3 hours of MCQs. And you will have to show that you have learned and you are good to go to the next level. Unless and until you do smart work, you will not be able to recollect and rehearse onto what all you have learned. So smart working means what? You should have particular principles which you can devise by yourself, with which you will be able to remember, recollect, and answer. Also, you should have the smart working in orientation of yourself to what goal you want. You should know what is required. You should know where you are going. You should know the pathway. And once you are there, you should have that focus to go the shortest possible way and the easiest possible way to that. Shortcuts to success are not there, but shortest way of achieving results are there. There are no shortcuts, but you can avoid round and round merry-go-round wastages once you have your focus and smart working. Next comes your interpersonal skills. Don't underestimate people around you. You need to have good interpersonal skills if you would want to associate with successful people. And what do you mean by associating with successful people? It means that you share your success stories, you share their success stories. Everybody in our profession, having come so far, are successful people. There are no failures in life, especially when it comes to our profession and where we are. There are no failures. But instead of having talks which are, or efforts which are, or projects which are not leading us anywhere, we can focus ourselves on having those interpersonal communications where their strengths are highlighted and their weaknesses, we come the way to solve that, and our weaknesses, they come the way to solve that. So going extra mile with interpersonal skills is what I find very, very helpful from this point onwards. Till now, it was just friendship. From now on, you will be associated to each other as professionals. So interpersonal skills and interprofessional approach should be very, very strong if you have to be successful, whether in your MDS, post-MDS, or in life. Then occupational discipline. Occupational discipline means you must have a particular wavelength and routine. Wavelength means what? Routine means what? If your routine is to attend to virtual classes, and if you do not have the discipline to sit in an ardent way and note it down the way it should be for your future references, you are not having the proper discipline. Your people, if you open up a clinic and want to become a great clinician, in the video there were many people who told about proud of being clinicians. If you see them, their clinic opens up at a particular time, they have got a particular practice of seeing particular patients in that particular appointed time, and they do that very ardently. So discipline is what makes them good clinicians. In research, the log, what they do and how they keep the log and how they present it themselves, that matters. And in occupation, if you have to choose whatever occupation you choose after this, whether you go to MDS, whether you go to MPH, whether you go to management studies, whether you take your dentistry into entrepreneurship level, also having your industries. Yes, we do have our dentists who are making industries, not only in dentistry. Our 3D printing in India, I think I will leave this as a small bit for you to work out after the session. Who is that person who is a dentist, that too from very own Karnataka, Kannada person, who has gone ahead and made 3D printing as an industry, which is famous worldwide, and that industry is in India. So who is that person? Find out. What is the name of that? And I will tell you the clue. It starts from I, the letter I. So that's the clue for you. Find out. And when you have to go into any profession, your occupational discipline is what matters for your success. And that's the sole thing which you will be known for in the days to come, if you have it. And then definitely a novel approach. Well, failure is a stepping stone to success. I had planned actually a different example for this novel approach, but let me tell you what you saw. Yes. Now we have got a new device and we are experimenting with a new technology. What technology? A technology where the presenter is inside the presentation, right? You saw that in the beginning slides that was successful. It was running fine, but in the middle of a particular slide, we just went blank and there were a lot of disturbances seen. We had good interpersonal skills. We communicated on the online platform and we had feedback from our organizer, Dr. Chanchala. And with that feedback, we corrected that. We did not stop this session and we did not panic just because we had a problem. We had the perseverance and we made sure that we used the agility of using alternative approaches. And this alternative approach is nothing but a novel approach where still you can see a virtual background, but we have now, it depends on what the participant sees, whether they see the presenter or not. But if the person who is beaming it has put a presenter view also, then you will be seeing one part of it as a presentation and the part a presenter is seen. The program did not stop. Now, does that mean that the novelty did not work? No, it just only means that the novelty has given us greater opportunities, greater challenges, and these challenges have given us greater opportunities to discover more. Definitely, we are going to learn more in the next programs. Things are going to be more novel. Every novelty requires a lot of planning, and every new planned activity requires some amount of guts to go about and do it. Dr. Bhagya told we will go live, but I told her if there is any problem, then going live is a problem. But she had the guts to take it live. That's what I call a requisite characteristic for going ahead, the first step towards change and first step towards success. Unless and until you do something different than what other people have done, who is going to recognize you? You are going to be one among the many. If you have to come out and become a dragonfly, you have to come out of that old shell. You have to come out of the deep waters, murky waters. You have to break open those shells to acquire new knowledge. And how does that new knowledge come? In the future, you are going to get new knowledge only with novel approach. Till now, books were there. Further also, to some extent, books are going to be there. But there is going to be one point where when you start discovering things or reinventing the wheel, they call it as, you cannot do it with the same technology what others did. You will have to have novel approach. And I would feel that novel approach and experimenting a novel approach with caution is one of the main markers in successful people. So finally, I have put it down for you, all these things. There are 7 things, if I can see on the screen, and you also can see on the screen, 7 things are there. But there is an 8th thing which also matters here. Now, can I ask you to put the 8th thing in the chat box? Can you put up what is that 8th thing in the chat box? Come on, go on. Yes, I can see that many people have started telling, and that is passion. And where do you see this? You see this here, hidden inside this slide. Perseverance, agility, steadfast and focused effort, smart working, skills, discipline, and novelty, all boils down to passion. If you're doing something and if you're not passionate, believe me, there is not going to be any chance for you to succeed. Then you can ask me one question. Suppose if I get a subject of my choice, if I get an option of my choice, if I land up somewhere in the life as I had chosen, then I will have passion. What if otherwise? What if I end up in a place where I am going to be or where I am presently as a matter of chance? Either you should become what you love or you should love what you have become. You can always develop passion on what you are. Definitely, if passion becomes profession, definitely you are going to be successful. Profession also can become passion. The other way around, if you have ended up gone ahead into some miles, don't want to come back, wasting time it would be to come back, then developing passion for that profession is also one of the ways in which you can go ahead. And success is not final, failure is not fatal. This is the name of a book which was given to me by a very interesting person. I will quote his name over here. He is Mr. Johnson, who is a designer for our annual reports. He could not survive the wave of the first pandemic. It was very difficult for him, and he did not give up. He changed his profession from being a textual designer. He has gone into designing architecture. And now he is into designing that part of that profession which was even allowed during the lockdown. So he gave me this book, which meant success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Even after success, you have to continue. Even after failure, you have to continue. Failure is only a failure if you stop at that particular point. And if you start attempting to that, it is going to be a story for the next success. So when you end up with a failure, it is a beginning of another attempt towards success. And after you end up with success, it is next attempt for the next success. Success is not final. Failure is never fatal. But only one thing you remember, that success should not go into the head and failure should not sink into the heart. Because if success runs into the head, pride overcomes all these characteristics, all these humbleness and all the humanitarian characteristics that is required to sustain that success. So success should never rise into the head and failure should never sink into the heart. I don't have to explain this. Failure should never sink into the heart. You should never lose heart. It is a beginning for next attempt towards success. So good. unlock your potential with these 2 days of a lot of eminent speakers. Interact with them, make sure that you discover what is that potential which is hidden in you, and discover what is best for you, and never ever get afraid for the change. If you are thinking you are going to end up with MDS at JSS Dental College and Hospital, you are welcome. But if you feel after this talk and after this webinar, if you feel you can go into a greater, beyond the geographic boundaries of India and achieve greater feats in an international platform, never hesitate to do that. Yes, always aim high and unlock your potential. And if you don't reach it, don't feel bad about it. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. And remember that success at one particular point of time, all those people who had put in that you want success only for MDS examination or for that particular selection of the subject field, you have to change, and you have to make sure that you will not just stop at one success point. It is not just the peak. Aim at mastery. So today in the presentation, at the end of this presentation, I would want to rename this presentation as not success mantra. Success mantra has got various ways, but it culminates into only one point. But success mantra is the one where you have multiple successes. So don't go for success mantra, go for mantra for mastery. If you are a master in any chosen field, if you are a master with skills in any other field, then that is the mark of your success. So don't aim at success, aim at mastery. With that, I stop sharing this particular session, and we get back to this. One particular session has ended for you. I would want you to give me feedback wherever possible, and I would be very happy to know what is your mantra for success story, whether be it being a hawk for a surgeon, inquisitive for being an oral medicine and radiologist, having a lot of patience for giving your attempt at pediatric dentistry, having a feather touch for your periodontics. Don't believe that you don't have it. Even if you do not have it, you can achieve it by accumulating all those skills required in the days to come. Nothing should stop you. Thank you very much. And the platform can be kept open for question and answers.
Indeed, a very insightful
And,
presentation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and I apologize for that initial midway glitch which we had with the technology, but I'm sure we have had the resiliency in our team to get back and complete it the way it is anticipated.
Yes, sir, definitely. There's just one question, sir. I'm sure the whole presentation was about that. By anonymous attendee. Good evening, sir. Can you please give us tips on how to prepare for MDS? I'm sure the whole presentation is the answer for it.
Well, let me tell you that preparing for a particular examination, you have got each one of the subject experts coming in these 2 days and telling their perspective of the depth of their particular specialty, and then telling you how to go about it. But I will tell you that if you have to prepare for any examination in life, whether be it written or be it any other kind of examination, the first thing is have your foundations right. If you plan up your activities and studies in a particular way and have that agility, well, this agility is a very interesting word. When it comes to MCQs, I'm sure we have got Rezin Thomas sir on this platform in the session which is going to come over today or tomorrow, and he is going to be able to tell you what are the different agile ways to tackle a particular question. You need not have to choose the right answer always. You can do that by taking out the other non-probable answers and then arriving at a right answer. So that is one of the ways, but those things will depend on how much you have understood the particular subject field and the specialty of dentistry. So there is no shortcuts for hard working, but if you can do smart work, then it is going to be saving your time and going to make you more efficient. And smart work would mean that you remember subject matters with mnemonics. You remember concepts with short memory maps. and you have all these memory booster mnemonic put in place so that you can get the concept right. And once you get the concept right, answering should not be an issue. And then time management is another thing which is very, very important. Negative marking, if it is there, then you will have to also think about taking risks. So calculated risk taking is also very, very important. Why am I telling these things? These things are usually not given in any textbooks. They will tell you that if you get these answers, then you find out probable answer. If you have probable answers, then there are two answers which are overlapping. You will be feeling confusing over that. All these things are given and they will tell you, and your knowledge will let you know and direct you how to choose, what best answer to choose. But soft skills like time management, soft skills like tackling the right questions, easy questions, and then coming over to the tough ones, determining what is easy and what is tough, selecting the right answers, as well as ruling out the wrong answers in the particular choices. These are all the things, and nothing can replace practice. So if you do not practice, I feel you will not be able to end up successful in your any examinations for that matter. So have a rehearsal, timed rehearsal, keep track of time, and then all these skills, whatever we had told you, that would definitely help you not only in your MCQs, also in other examinations of life.
So there are a few more questions. I'm sure they'll all be overlapping. We can take that to the panel discussion is what I personally feel. Apart from that, there's another question which by Dr. Balraj. What are the latest technologies in dentistry with the advance in science? Would you like to answer that, sir?
Yes, this is, yes, of course. Technology is one of the things which we feel very proud, and that differentiates us to a large extent from our colleagues, other doctors and dentists specifically. There is a very thick determining line, and that is technology. On and off, we get a lot of technologies, and I would translate that technology into success factors. Technology is existing in all the 9 fields of dentistry. Now, if we have to speak about what are the latest technologies in oral medicine, we have got latest technologies in that subject. In periodontics, yes, it is there. Surgery, yes, we have many. So it is all a culmination of what successful use of that technology is, what we think about when it comes to success, and how much is these technologies are getting applied into the practice, clinical practice, and getting translated to patient care is what is most important. If we have a technology and we are not able to use it, then it is of no use. But if we have a technology and if we can benefit many patients, then that is what translates to success. One of the major technologies in dentistry is, I would like to tell, the technology in learning, teaching learning. It is coming up. And if you can go to Skill and Simulation Center at JSS Academy of Higher Education Research in the Ramanuja Road, you will be able to find a 24 crore project where Skill and Simulation Lab from JSS Academy of Higher Education Research is existing in the online mode. Teaching learning of skills, which is most important for dentists, is not at all possible. So the university, the DIMTube University, has invested in Skill and Simulation Lab where robots are there and virtual reality is enabled for training on a virtual platform the students for skills, what is required in the preclinical, that translates into the clinical aspect. So for me, to tell you with the constraints of time, one of the most important technologies which is there with us, not talking about what is not there, but what is there is the teaching learning technology of using robotics and virtual reality with augmented realities supporting teaching learning, even with a distant mode of or a blended mode of education. I hope I have met a part of your sort of anticipation or expectation, but to discuss, we can definitely get on other platforms and have a one-to-one talk and discuss more about technology as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant, for an inspiring presentation. I must say that your enthusiasm is definitely contagious, and we hope to use your suggestions of success mantras in our work life, and especially our participants, that is our students, are going to be greatly benefited by your valuable advice given. On behalf of organizing committee, please accept our sincere appreciation in the form of e-certificate.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you. Over to you, Chanchala.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, a very good presentation, I must say. Small tip to students, just don't start chanting the mantras, but follow the tips and start executing those tips to achieve your goals. Is that what I want to say.